responsible for that. Hamdan said he wasn't responsible for what others had done. His men had only fought insurgents, and when the government ordered him to carry out operations in civilian areas, he refused. And he says that he is willing to put a hand on his heart and say that he is responsible for his men, and he knows what his men did and didn't do, and they didn't commit atrocities. He knows the world thinks his men are Janjaweed, but in his culture, a Janjaweed is a bandit who rapes and loots. His men were part of an organized force, therefore to call them Janjaweed is wrong. The men then produced what they said were army ID cards. You can see in Arabic it says identity for officers and soldiers, armed forces, commission for... This is Command Hamdan, the man we spent the last 2 weeks trying to meet. Hamdan's men are accused of atrocities while allied to the government. Yet publicly, the powers in Khartoum disown them. He said he wanted to put the record straight. He said that in fact the government recruited personally to fight against the Darfuri rebels in 2003 and made his men part of the armed forces. If we wanted proof, he said we should look around at his men's weapons. And he said to me, does it seem logical we magicked these weapons in these brand new cars there? Of course the government gave them to us. Orders came straight from the top. Commander Hamdan said that he met Sudan, President Omar al-Bashir, in his home in September 2006, where he personally asked to carry out campaigns in Sidr and Kari in northern Darfur that had recently been taken by the rebels. These are the first direct allied senior Janjaweed that his force was armed and controlled by the Sudanese government. It's what the international community has long suspected. Next morning, I wanted to ask the commander about the crimes committed against civilians by Janjaweed and why the UN want him investigated for alleged war crimes. When one thinks of Darfur and they think of the Arab tribes in Darfur, they think of the raping and the pillaging.
يعني فعلا كان في انتهاكات. حاجة أنا سمعت كلام أخونا الرزيقي. أنا ألخص كلام الصادق الرزيقي أنه موسى كلامه ده كله ده غرور. يعني زول ما غرور، كلام العمل ده كله غرور. أول حاجة يعني زول طلعوه من السجن لابس وزناية، طلعوا الرئيس وجابوا خطاه ووداه قوة ووداه إمكانيات، مفروض يحترم الحتة دي. ده لو احنا دايرين نتكلم واحنا بنعرف حاجات كثيره جدا ونحن عارفين ادله كثيره وعندنا ادله ثابته في يدنا ما دايرين نتكلم فيها. لكن الشيء انا اقول لك انه موسى الان نزل سليم، وانا زي ما قلت لك انا والله قبل رسالتنا انه يا جماعه بيكافح في الهجره غير شرعيه. رسالتنا انه السودان بيكافح في تهريب السلاح، في التطرف، في التهريب بكل انواعه، لكن ما في للاسف الشديد